I think.
Welcome to Beyond the Work, Tales in Multifamily Maintenance, an audio and video podcast brought to you and powered by the Multifamily Media Network. My name is Chris Caramanica, and I am your host. As a 15-year veteran of the apartment industry, I feel like I have done and seen it all. Don't we all feel that way? And then we see or hear something else. I have stories to tell, and the desire to hear and tell others' stories. As a multiple committee member with NAA, a CAMT advisory board member, and a national presenter and educator, I have met and worked with so many people in our great industry at all levels. This is not a how-to podcast. It is a how-did podcast. We are going to explore the how-did tales in multifamily. How did we do it? How did we learn from it? How did we grow? How did we decide not to do it again? Join me as we go beyond the work.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Beyond the Work, Tales in Multifamily Maintenance. My name is Chris Caramanica, and I'm your host. It's been a couple weeks, but I have the honor and privilege of a very special guest today. I am with Cee Brown, maintenance supervisor for Galaxy Residential in the great state of Alabama. I think I'm supposed to say Roll Tide. I'm not a big sports guy, but is that what I'm supposed to say, Cee?
There's Roll Tide all the way, all day.
So, Cee, before we get into why, we're talking today, I want you to talk a little bit about yourself and how you got into this industry.
Okay, so I graduated from college in 2000. I was a big time basketball player here in Alabama. Graduated 2-year junior college in Texas, won 2 national championships, and went from there to Arkansas State. I didn't stay at Arkansas State long, so I went to Missouri Western State College, where I graduated from, with a recreation degree. And when I came back to Birmingham, I was working out with my high school team, but it just really didn't fall through. So my god brother got me into maintenance. And from 2005 is where my maintenance career took off, and I haven't looked back. So it's been like
you've been doing this from 2005. You've been doing 20 years. You've been in the business.
Yes. Yep. So I started sitting in the office collecting work orders. Me and another guy sat in the office, collected work orders all day, and then they was like, "Hey, we finna do away with these positions." So he went to leasing, and I was like, "I can't sit in no office all day and lease no apartments. I can go out and do some maintenance stuff." When I did that, I went into punch. And when I started punching and was turning like 5, 6, 7 units in one day, then they was like, "Hold up." And when nothing wrong with them, when the property manager walked them, so she was like, "Okay, I'm finna move you up into turnkey." And when they put me into turnkey and showed me how to do turnkey, I took off into turnkey. And I've been, as I progressed, Sherry Davis was actually the one I started my career with, her and her sister, Cheryl. And she was like, they was stealing me from each other. Like, I was working with Cheryl, and then Sherry come and say, "Well, now I got a position for you making more money." You know what I'm saying? When I got in this industry, I was making $12.50 sitting in the office. Yeah. So she was like, "Now I'm gonna offer you more money. Come over here and do this because you do so good." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So Cheryl had me, Sherry grabbed me. So I was like bouncing back and forth, but I was working for both of them. And it's just been, I didn't go to school for it, maintenance. Everything that I learned in maintenance, I learned from every guy I work with. Those guys was like, they took me up under their wings, and they was like, "Okay." I remember my first time being on call. It was cold. It was like during the winter. And my maintenance supervisor was like, "Okay, I'm going to put you on call," because it was only 2 guys in the rotation, and we was trying to get them a break. And I was like, "Cool, no problem." So I wasn't certified. So during the day, I was running tickets with them, learning how to do the heat and air part. So a heat came in, no heat. And I called my boss, like telling him what's going on. He said, "If you can fix it without me coming out there, you're going to be good." And I fixed the heat without him coming out there. So that's how I jumped into maintenance.
Well, how many different places have you worked in the last 20 years, Cee? It sounds like somebody keeps bouncing you around all the time. Do you even know?
Yeah, I work for, I think like 5 different properties. I was trying to stay like in one place, but when people find out how good you are, they throw different prices at you and pull you and this stuff. But mostly anybody I work for is really Sherry Davis. You know what I'm saying? I've been following.
Yeah.
If she needs somebody and she know how good I am, she'll come get me. You know, she was like, okay, I got this position I want you in, and I know you're the only one that can rock it. So what you think about it? And I was like, let me sit down and think on it for a day. Probably about 2 hours later, I call her like, all right, I got you.
You know, I think that's some of the most successful maintenance professionals that I work with, you know, have very similar stories that they do really well at one property or with one company, and all of a sudden they're going a lot of different places.
Right.
Did you move a lot?
Right.
Or, you know, you went to a lot of different, you know, communities, but were they all in the same general area, or did you have to like kind of move and uproot every time?
No, it was, I could say each property probably pretty much was, well, a couple of them, they was like owned by the same company. So like on one property I worked on, they had 3 different properties. So I was working at 3 properties at one time. So all of them was no more than about 10, 15 minutes away from each other.
Got it. Yeah. When I got into the business, I lived in 7 different places in 8 years because it kept going to different, same company, but different communities. So a little like you. And it got to a point where we would save our moving boxes. So that's why I was asking, we would save our moving boxes and put them in a closet, because why have to go out and find new boxes in 6 months to a year? You know, like we'll just reuse the ones that are already labeled and just slap new labels on them. So that's why I was asking.
Well, yeah, mostly like they wasn't too far from my house, my home house where I stayed at. So I really didn't have to move a lot. I didn't stay on property.
Got it. So what is one of the greatest challenges that you had, especially in your early days of coming from, you know, a sports recreation background and kind of working your way up through the ranks? Can you think of a time that you had a really big challenge?
Really just mainly working with a lot of guys. We had a couple of places I worked at, we had some females, but they didn't stay long.
Yeah.
So they come in and then they didn't like it, so they'll, you know, go somewhere else. With me, I'm like, I'm up for the challenge. So I stayed, and you know what I'm saying? The biggest thing for me was my first time going on call. That was mostly it, because I had to remember everything that these guys taught me, you know, and it paid off. You know, I look at it like my first time playing in a national championship, get out there on the court and you don't know what's going to happen. You just got to perform your best.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
And what year did you get on that court for that national championship? See?
I got 2. I got 1 in high school. 2. I went every year in high school. We went to the high school championship. I won 1 and got MVP my second year in high school. And then the 2 junior college ones, it was like, man, that probably was the best time of my life right there. Winning 2 back-to-back junior college national championships. And it's just been, you know.
That's amazing, see.
I learned, like, my coach, I had a real good coach, because not only did he teach us basketball skills, I'm playing with women from across the country, but he also taught us a lot about life. And that's what I like about him. I miss him. His name was Kurt Bucket. He was killed in an airplane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he was the head coach at Oklahoma State at the time. But he was like more than a coach. He was like a father figure to a lot of us, because like my father wasn't in my life. So I had uncles and cousins.
That's great to have, you know, especially at that age, to have a coach or a mentor that, you know, meant so much to you, you know, even years and years later. You know, can you think of anybody else that you've worked with that you can talk a little bit about, you know, that mentorship or that coaching or that leadership?
Yeah, I have one of my contractors. Me and him are really close, and he's a very, very big mentor to me, and he keeps me grounded. I could call him at any time of night and talk to him about what's going on, and he's gonna give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. He's gonna give it to me if I don't want to hear it. And he gonna tell me what I need to do. And you know what I'm saying? Just meeting a lot of contractors in this industry, just because they're contractors, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean you can't develop a friendship with them. And I didn't know him until I got into this industry in 2005. and me and him been friends ever since then. And he, like, when I say mentor me, he's like a father figure to me, and he's gonna tell me, you know, you was wrong, or you need to go and do this, or you need to apologize. He's gonna tell me, and that's what I like about it.
So let me flip the script on you. See, you know, you've had some good mentors in your life. Who are you mentoring? Who have you mentored in your 20 years?
My godson, his father is in his life, but you know what I'm saying? I mentor him. Like I show him, I've been teaching him maintenance.
That's great.
When he was so he's 13 now. But when he was like 6 or 7 and was able to hold a screwdriver, pliers, and learn how to paint, like if he wanted his room painted, I would let him paint the lower part, and I taught him how to paint. You know, even some of the guys that I work with, that I hired, they still call me and they like, I want to come work with you because you keep me in line, and then you're going to train me and you're going to take your time with me. You know what I'm saying? So I also mentor like younger kids. I have been to with one of the vendors I went to. I went with them to a high school to talk to kids, guys and girls, tell them about maintenance at one of their job fairs. I love doing stuff like that. I love like teaching, mentoring people. Like, and then I won't say mentor. I say mentoring, but I'm a people person. I'm easy to get along with, and kids, from young adults to babies to older people, man, they just gravitate to me. And like, even with the guys I work, a lot of the guys that I work with, it was like, I asked them, I said, why y'all want to work with me? And they was like, cause you take your time with us. You're patient. You show us when we doing wrong. You don't fuss at us. You show us. You hands on with us. And that's what I like about being in this industry, because the same way I mentor to those kids and guys is the same way that when I first came into the maintenance, how the guys did me. I work with a lot of older guys, and to this day, I'm best friends with one. He's about 66, 67, and we still go to lunch, hang out. You know what I'm saying? When I have my backyard iron bowl parties or something like that, and at my aunt's house in the backyard, he's always there. Anytime he said, you can call me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm coming. You know, so I just, like I said, I learned from so many men in Birmingham and still friends with a lot of them. And I can call them. I can call one of my maintenance supervisors right now and, hey, I got this problem, what I need to do. He going to pick up the phone and he going to answer it, and he going to tell me what I need to do.
Yeah. See, you know, it's your energy is amazing. I got to say, I mean, I've only been talking to you for a short amount of time, and, you know I'm going to be able to talk to you and want to talk to you more and more and more. So I can see that from whether it's your residents, your coworkers, you know, people that you've, you know, either worked for or have worked underneath you, or your vendors. Like, your energy is so amazing. How do you keep that up? How, you know, what gets you out of bed every morning to have that kind of positivity? See, because more people need to have it. More people need to have it.
Man, hey, I have been through a lot, you know what I'm saying, health wise, and even when I was in college, man, the only reason I didn't go to the WNBA was because my last year I blew my knee out. Actually, the first injury I had was a ruptured disc in my back, and I got rehabbed that, got healthy, and then about a week later tore my whole knee up. So I had to rehab that, and I just was like, okay, look, I'm just gonna graduate, go ahead and get my degree, and go back home and just find me a job in my field. And I didn't get a job in my field. I picked up maintenance. You know what I'm saying? So my drive every day when I come to work is I'm still learning. Like, I tell my guys I work with, I be like, hey, I know I'm your boss, but I'm going to be learning from you, because you might know something that I don't know. And you may know I might know a lot that you don't know. So I'm going to teach you. I'm a teacher as well as a student. You know what I'm saying? I don't look down on nobody. And that's the drive and the energy I have every day. I come to work with a smile on my face and to learn something new every day from everybody I work with.
That's amazing. And, you know, it shines through, and it probably makes your day go a little bit faster too, right? When you have a good positive attitude.
Yeah, as long as Alabama win and doing football season, I'm good, man.
Which, we're recording this just before, the season kicks off. Just before
Yeah.
college football season kicks off this weekend.
Oh yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit. One of the I had the honor and privilege of meeting you in a very unique way. And you got introduced very quickly to, I believe there was over 12,000 people. You got introduced very, very quickly. I kind of buried the lead because I wanted to know you as a person and I wanted the audience to know you as a person. But you are the second ever NAA HD Supply Maintenance Legend winner. You are the winner of season 2 of HD Supply's maintenance and NAA's Maintenance Legends. Is that correct?
Yes.
You were one of 24 honorees from last year.
Yes.
There was over 1,100 nominations. And of those 1,100 people, you were the one winner. So tell me a little bit about that journey. Like, somebody had to nominate you. So why don't we start at the beginning, right? Let's break this up a little bit because I think this is a really good story. Everybody has to be nominated. Let's start there. So who nominated you to be a maintenance legend?
Okay, so Sherry Davis nominated me to be a maintenance legend. And the reason why she nominated me was she anything she asked me to do, I might go into the office and be like, Sherry, I really don't feel like doing it. And she was like, she'll look at me and laugh. She was like, I ain't even much worried about you because I know you're going to do it anyway. And both of us will just bust out laughing because she know I'm going to go do it. So she nominated me for the maintenance legend. And I was like, okay, cool. She was like, your story what you just did is going to win you maintenance legend. I was like, that ain't finna win me no maintenance legend. You know what I'm saying? I do like different stuff like that all the time. When she was the one sent me to the unit, she wasn't sending nobody else to this lady's unit. And when I got there and saw how bad it was I reported back to her what was going on in the unit. And that's when we tried to get vendors to come in. And when they went, taking them up there, and they was like, "No, we not gonna touch that. That's hazardous." So, I took pictures and showed her the condition of the unit, and then they reached out to the resident, and come to find out the resident is from New Orleans, and she had got sick. So I think the insurance or whatever, she had to go back to New Orleans, Louisiana to be hospitalized. I think she had failed and she had to have some kind of surgery or something like that. Something happened. So I said, okay, cool. So I had run-ins with this lady before, and I have talked to her before all of this happened, like months before, and she was still driving and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool. So we couldn't get nobody to go in and get this unit done. So I was like, you know what, since we can't get nobody to go into this unit and get the stuff that we need done in there for the contractors to come in and do their job, I'm just going to put my stuff on and go in there and clean and get all this trash up. So I didn't touch none of her stuff, but everything that was on the floor, and man, it was bad, feces, like, I guess because she couldn't make it to the bathroom. She had nobody cleaning up for us. Her kids wasn't here. So it was like, I went in there and cleaned up, you know what I'm saying? Because, man, all of my grandmothers is in heaven, you know what I'm saying? So I be adopting grandmamas from every property I done worked on. I got a grandmama and probably a granddad on there. Because and it don't matter how they look, how they carry themselves, because when I come around, even if they down under, I put a smile on their face, so, and I can go back to that property, to those properties, and talk to them people that's still living in the same apartment. I can go back to them and talk to them. They'll open the door and let me come in. So that's how I looked at it. I looked at it as, what if this was my grandmama and I couldn't make it? Or, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't get there in time enough and her apartment looked like this. So I went in and I cleaned it. I masked up, put my gloves. I had trash cans from the front of the door to the back. and I just cleaned everything up so we can get the right people in there to do the damages that was done from the hot water tank that bust upstairs, and she had a little flow issue. So I made sure I cleaned everything up. So when she got back to her apartment, and it was about a month or two later, and I went up there to check everything, and she was sitting in the living room on the air mattress, and I was able to talk to her. And I said, well, I asked her how she was doing. She said, baby, I'm doing better. I said, well, I told her, I said, I was the one came through here and clean your apartment up for you and got you right. So when you came back, she was like, yeah. She said, but her kids had finally came to get all her stuff out of the apartment because she had to move. So, and I just told her, I said, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you okay. And, you know, hopefully I'll see you again. If not, you have a blessed life. And then we just left it like that.
See, that's an amazing story. And it happens every day in our business. That it's these unsung stories is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast to begin with. So that's why when I say I'm honored to have you on, this is what I mean. This is the kind of stories that happen every single day. And it wasn't your job. It wasn't something that you needed, that somebody was making you do to save money. You did it out of a love for your residents and a passion and compassion, not just passion for your work, because I can hear that and see that in your voice, but also a compassion for the people that are residents at your community, that are, that you treat like family, because, they are. So that's why I say I was honored when I found out that I was going to get the opportunity to talk to you today. For me, it was a little like talking to a celebrity, and I'm not going to lie. And, I know what it's like. It's just every day you're doing your own thing, right? Like you get out of bed, you show up, you do your work, you go home, you start it all over again. But it's these moments, it's these little stories and these tales that we don't tell enough, And I remember sitting there, I swear to God. So for those of you that have never been to Apartmentalize, this is the second year of the Maintenance Legends program between NAA and HD Supply. And we were sitting in this room of about 12,000 people, and we got to watch little video clips of you specifically, and a couple of the other contestants. I'm sorry, not contestants, some of the other honorees for the Maintenance Legends program. And I was sitting there. I'm not going to lie. I'm not making this up. I swear to God, there was not a dry eye in the house. I was crying. Everybody was crying with those video packages, but yours really hit me home because I've done very similar things to that story. I have taken care of people that have had a hoarding disorder. I have taken care of some grandmas myself that, their kids weren't around or too far away. Right. And I remember sitting there with a bunch of team members from my company, and we were bawling our eyes out. So I think I even said, I'm not taking credit for it, because the winner was decided long before those videos were shown. But I knew right away. I was like, there she is. I was like, right there, that lady right there is the winner for this year. And then sure enough, they announced your name, and you're standing on this stage in Las Vegas in front of 12,000 people. How did that feel to be recognized for it was just a day at the office? That was just a day at the office for you, see?
Man,
how did that feel?
First, I'd never been to Vegas. So that was the first thing. I'm like, okay, Las Vegas, I've never been. The second thing is being backstage, the nervousness. I'm like, a little female from Birmingham, Alabama is not finna win this, but I just enjoyed meeting all the new people. I enjoyed everything because it was like, I'm not going to tell you no story. I kind of felt it because I was like, because when we first got to our hotels, the door knockers had legend on the front. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm looking down the hall, and I see all these little black hangers saying legends. So I said, okay, they got us all on the same floor.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and then we had like a meeting in me a car. I had rented a car. So I drove pretty much everywhere around that I had to go, even though it was walking distance. So after I won, even in the airport, I still had people coming up to me trying to take pictures and was congratulating me. and walking through the hotel, it was like, to this day, it's like I'm still like, can't believe that I won this accomplishment. And like I said, a lot of the guys on stage with us, that was my first time seeing the video, because I'm like, because mine was first. And I'm like, that's me talking. I was like, I ain't even seen the video. We ain't gonna get to see the video. I'm like, okay, well, because when they came to film us, first of all, they filmed me the whole day at work. So it was like, the first part of filming was sitting down, answering questions and stuff like that. And then the second part was riding around with the drones and the cameras and in an apartment. It was cool, man. It was something I never experienced, even in basketball. Like, basketball, you got the cameras right there, you know what I'm saying? And you get questioned by the reporters, and then you gone. But I had to do a whole interview, you know what I'm saying? So, and it was like,
Wow.
It was amazing. I've never had this to happen to me. And it's just, when I won, I almost passed out, but I was like, you can't pass out up here on this stage in front of everybody. Somebody gonna have to pick you up. And I already knew my boss was gonna be crying. Sherry was gonna be crying so hard, she wasn't gonna be able to get up there to me. So the experience was,
oh my God,
awesome. You know what I'm saying? I met so many people. I don't know how many people I hugged. It was just the energy, and then when they announced me as the winner, it was like, who is all these people cheering for me? I said, ain't nobody out there but Sherry Davis and her sister. And I said, and then Asset Living. And I heard everybody. I was like, hold up. I was like, I got some new friends I got to meet. But it was awesome, man. You know what I'm saying? It's an experience that I never thought I would get to be at, being in maintenance. I didn't know that, you know what I'm saying, just my job that I do every day that I love would put me here on this pedestal to win an award that's nationwide, and I'm blessed for it.
So what did you
I won a nice Ford 150, and I won some cash. But I ain't gonna say money,
nice.
$10,000. And then I was able to. The cool thing about it is, I was like, okay, how am I gonna get this truck to the house? I can't drive all the way back to Alabama. So they were like, no, they had already told me. They was like, if you win, it's gonna get shipped to you. I was like, okay, cool. So I was able to track this truck all the way to my front door. And I think
that's amazing.
They brought it. Actually, it was my niece's birthday. She was just turning 1. And I was in the backyard on a barbecue grill when the truck pulled up. So I was like, the meat burning, I go back and get some more of my truck outside.
That is amazing. I love that. See,
but man, it's a blessing.
So
man.
I'm gonna real quick share with the audience. If you have, let me just pull this up on the screen here. If you have a maintenance legend, if you are a maintenance legend, if you have a maintenance legend in your life, go to www.maintenancelegends.com and you can submit your own legend. That's all Cee's friend did. That's all Cee, was go to this page and click submit a legend. And the program is presented by NAA. The presenting sponsor is HD Supply. And, it's an amazing program. And whether you're submitting a legend or not, you can go to this website every single month and vote for, read the stories of the maintenance professionals that are getting nominated, like Cee and so many others. There was over 1,000 nominees last year. Read their stories, hear what they're doing, and share them with each other, and vote for your favorite. The new season actually just started in August. This is not an advertisement for HD Supply or NAA, but it is an advertisement for this program, because in my own little way, because this program recognizes what our maintenance team members and professionals are doing every single day. And it's great to hear stories like yours, Cee. I mean, just blown away. It was amazing to, talk to you.
Thank you.
So, Cee, is there anything that you want to share, with the audience on the future of maintenance? What's your next thing, or what do you got going on in your life right now? And, what do you want to see?
Right now, I had a little health scare. I had a small stroke about last month, and right now I'm just trying to get healthy. I didn't know I was having it. I just went into the hospital and was just complaining. They was like, Miss Brown, you having a stroke? I'm like, huh? It was like, we got to cut your clothes off. I said, well, if I'm having a stroke, do what you got to do. I'll buy some more clothes. But the whole time that I was in the hospital, it was like I never skipped a beat. It was like, just be calm and patient. You know what I'm saying? I got you. And that's all it was God talking to me and was like, you're going to be okay. The whole time I was in the hospital, I was up walking around, getting up, going to the bathroom. It was just, it just caught me off guard, man. But right now, I'm back healthy. I'm back at work. I don't know. Right now, I really want to be a mentor to other maintenance guys that, want to be. I always tell everybody that I hire, you know what I'm saying? Don't just stay as a groundsman. Learn as much as you can to move up, to be where I'm at. I am, so you can even go above me. And that's what that's my main focus and goal. I have little nieces and nephews. They love being around me. I have all of them. We paint today? Not today, but I teach them like little different maintenance stuff, how to paint, this and that. I like doing it. It's like, I like teaching, and I don't know, God just did a total 360 on my life with getting out of college with a recreation degree and not doing them with it because I wanted to coach girls and boys basketball, but I ended up landing into maintenance. And it's like I'm coaching all these guys, young and old, females, young and old, on something that I didn't never think I was going to be into. And I love it. I love fixing stuff. When I was little, I used to take the VCR apart and put it back together. So I guess there was a sign right there to say you're going to be maintenance.
See, but you're still coaching. You're just not doing it on the court.
Exactly.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yep. Yeah.
So Cee Brown, our 2025 maintenance legend. Thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Beyond the Work. It was a real honor and pleasure to have you. And, I wish you all the best. And thank you so much. And for my new friend from Alabama, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, and I appreciate you having me on your podcast. And anytime you need me, just let me know.
Will do, C. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today for Beyond the Work, Tales in Multifamily Maintenance. No matter how long you've been in our industry or what position you have at your company or your community, everyone has a maintenance tale to tell. If you like this episode, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow to this podcast. Go to www.multifamilymedianetwork.com and leave me a voice message or share your information, and we can tell your tale together on a future episode. Please join the MMN newsletter for upcoming industry podcasts, thought pieces, and sponsorship opportunities. Our stories all connect us. See you for the next chapter.